Okay, welcome back to This Could Be a Podcast. Today we're talking about social media, and we have a special guest who is slurping on her Smirnoff Ice. I was gonna say Ice Claw, but Ice Claw. I was gonna say White Claw, but she hasn't actually started yet.
I'll add it soon.
Yes, and her name is Nicole Wong, which do people know her?
Yeah, she's been
I
mentioned.
think so. I think so.
I've been mentioned.
I think you've been mentioned quite a few times.
Pretty much in every episode.
Yeah, more than likely in almost every. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. And today we'll be talking about social media and
Social.
how we feel about it, how we started it, like when did you guys first start with social media, the whole thing.
Yeah. What would you say your guys' relationship with social media is?
I love it. I love it too much. I think that's a problem for me.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
it. I love it so much. I can never give it up. But I think I don't know, like, do you ever have this thing where you, like, possessively and, like, obsessively, like, look at your own feed?
Yes.
Like, every day too much? Like,
Yeah.
you're your own biggest fan.
What do you mean your own feed? Do you mean like
You just
like on
scroll-
Instagram you look at your own pictures or something
Yeah, the,
like
the
that?
way
or-
that you would with other people. But, like,
I wanna
daily
s-
with yourself.
I like to see how other people perceive me
Yeah, exactly.
via my social media profile.
I don't think I have this same connection.
Maybe it's a girl thing.
Maybe it is.
Maybe, could be.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can't say that I've really done that. I mean, like, of course, I, like, check it sometimes. The only thing is that I look at it to see if any photos are, like, shouldn't be there. Like I'm
What are you
like, does that look
posting?
good? Like, no, I just mean, like, older photos. Like, these, like, really shitty quality, like, pictures of, like, a plant or something, you know? Like, that I'm like, does anybody really care about that plant? I don't think so.
I think there's a charm in keeping the old ones.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of like history, right? That's why I've kept it for the most part.
My Instagram, most of my pictures are archived. I have pictures like that are from 2015
How do you archive shit? Like, because you...
on Instagram.
There's just like a function
Oh.
for it.
Yeah.
So that's
I
if
do
you don't
too.
want to delete it, but you don't want it to be on your feed anymore.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't want other people to be able to see it, but also I can re-upload it if I want to.
Yeah, I love that function. I
Me
love
too.
it.
Yeah.
I've never even
'Cause
used that before.
Sometimes, like, you hate a picture in the moment, but then later on, like, a few years later, you love it. You're like, oh, this is a great picture.
Mhm.
You know?
Really?
Also,
Yeah.
like when I was I used to be really into Instagram in like 2016, 2017, where I'd post every day.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, but that's
like-
overkill. Like on your story. Wait, were stories even
no,
a thing
on
then?
like
Have stories
posts.
then?
Yeah,
I'm
like
not sure
because
if they
like
did.
like it's like I have this image in my head of stories being this like
It
like
was a
constant
Snapchat thing.
force. Yeah, it was a Snapchat thing
Yeah.
first, and then it became an Instagram feature, and
But-
Instagram just did it better.
Yeah.
And then everyone used Instagram.
So I would post like every day on Instagram. And so I obviously don't want all of those pictures, but I got like super obsessed with being like, okay, I have to post today. Like, what can I take a picture of? Like, I guess I'll take a selfie because I'm not going anywhere today. And so like, or it'd be like a picture of my dogs, or like, I just felt this like obsessive need to post.
So how many pictures did you have? Like how? Like
I
it
had like
must have been
1,000 at one point.
no fucking way.
How many?
Did they
I
all
don't
have,
know
like, the
how many.
cringy filter? Like the 2014, 2016 filter?
No,
I
I
like
wasn't.
that. Yeah.
But I did do a thing where I had a border, like a white border on them. So now I have 91 posts.
Oh,
But I
that's
used
fair.
to
So
have,
you have
like,
deleted
hundreds.
900 and like 900 plus, or like archived like
Well, 'cause
900
for, like-
plus posts.
well,
My gosh.
Most of them were deleted because I think the archive feature only came in like 2018,
Yeah,
2019.
very recent.
So most of my archived pictures are pictures that I actually still like now, but I just don't have anymore.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Okay,
mean?
fair.
Does
Yeah,
that
okay,
make
no,
sense?
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
When did you guys first start really getting into social media? Like, when was the first time that you would say you were like really
I'd
like
say I was
into
like
it?
11, 12.
11, 12?
too.
God damn.
Definitely.
On Facebook.
Oh.
Well, you're
Okay.
younger than
You're
us.
older.
I mean, yeah, but like I also don't know about like Facebook.
It's-
Like I don't even know if
I didn't have Facebook until like 2
Facebook
years
is kind
ago.
of funky.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, I was no one look up my old Twitter, please. It was so bad. I would tweet like every day, and I would tweet like this personal stuff. I would tweet like oh, like I just got my heart broken, and like I would tag the
No.
person who supposedly
Oh,
broke my heart.
No, you would not.
Just for clarification, he did not break my heart. I barely knew this guy.
Wait, you tagged him?
Wow.
Yeah, I
Okay,
tagged
That
him.
is
tagged.
extra.
I tagged him, and people would like it. You know, like people would like retweet, like. Oh my god,
That's
such a struggle.
Wow, man.
It's
Drama.
It's yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I first got Facebook because I have only older siblings and they
I
were on
also
Facebook.
started on Facebook.
And I was like, I'm an adult. And my parents were like, you can't have it. Like, on Facebook, I think you have to be 13. I think I was like
Oh
11
my
or 12.
God.
And then, you know how you set your birthday to
Yeah.
like
1990
1921
or whatever,
or something?
yeah.
I was like 106
Oh,
like,
man.
until like a few years ago when I finally changed it to my birthday.
Yeah, I definitely started on Facebook. I started on Facebook when I was like, 8 or like 9. Like I was really early on Facebook. But like the thing is, like I didn't have any other social media. I didn't
What
have
were
it.
you doing at 8 or 9?
Dude, playing fucking Farmtown, like Farmville.
Farmville.
No,
seen-
Farmtown, fucking not Farmville. I never played Farmville.
Have you
I
ever
played
seen his
Farmtown.
old profile pictures where it's like
Oh
these,
my god, they're so
it's like
good.
8-year-old
You can
Peter,
maybe
and it's like,
if you're watching on the YouTube video, it'll be up here. It's
yeah,
it's beautiful.
it's a
Like
beauty.
one of them was just up like my eye. I just like
Yeah.
I was like in the camera like
I
staring
had
at
that
it.
too.
and
There are
I'm-
so many Facebook
So
pictures
good.
that I've deleted. I used to update my Facebook picture like every few weeks because I was like, this is a great picture of me. And like I didn't have a Mac growing up, but remember when photo booth pictures were like all the rage on Facebook? Maybe that was like a Canadian thing. But everyone had like a MacBook like photo booth picture. And I downloaded like a software that would give you the same effect.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I have a Mac. I did not have a Mac. And then it was like the thermal filter.
Oh, you mean like if like where like you look kind of like an alien kind of
Yeah.
thing, and it's like blue, green, and yellow.
And
yeah.
I thought I was so slick.
Oh, did you guys ever have like a talk given to you about social media from your parents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had like I can think of like 2 really good ones that I got. They were pretty bad.
Go ahead.
The first one was it's so bad. When I was younger, I would like all of these like funny pictures and stuff that I would see on Facebook, right? But like how back in the day, I don't even know if it's still a thing. It might be, but like a lot of these like weird like porn accounts and stuff would
Yeah.
post these funny pictures and stuff. I don't know, and I didn't realize that when I liked something, I would just I was like, oh, this is a funny picture, so I would follow the account.
Oh no.
And it was like big boobs, blonde, like appreciation page or something.
Boobs.
Like it was like something like that. And I had like a whole list of these like things. Like I wasn't doing it for like the porn or anything. I was just interested. I was like, oh, this is a funny picture, and I'd click on it. And then my mom was like, Peter, you can't be posting these things and like and like sharing and following these like accounts because it's inappropriate. And I was like, what's wrong with them? They're just funny. And yeah, it was so bad because he was like, you have to like delete all of this like right now. It was so bad.
I've actually had like a forced talk about like online bullying because my parents thought one time that I was like bullying this old like girlfriend of mine because her parents were actually on my parents' doorstep. And they were like, yeah, she's online bullying them. And it was actually my friend who was logged into my account and like deleting my stuff. She was like online bullying her through my account. And I was like, I have no idea. Like I don't like her, but I didn't bully her. And like my parents, like to this day, they think it's me. They still think it was me. And it was that bitch. It was one of my best friends.
Whoa.
She was the same person, by the way, who spread the rumor that I had a frozen dead cat in my freezer.
Oh, what?
Which is
How old
racist.
were you doing this?
Like 12? Yeah, like 12 years old.
12.
I only realized
Okay,
it was
wasn't
racist
even-
like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the talk because I used to love posting lyrics. And so Bruno Mars is billionaire. I want to be a billionaire so fucking bad.
Oh
I posted
no.
that, and I remember I was sat
how
in my
dare
room.
you.
Sat in my room, and my parents called me down to the living room, and I was like, they're gonna yell at me. Oh my god, what have I done? And then they were like, Jennifer, we need to talk about being appropriate online. And I was like, what have I done? And they were like, you can't be posting that stuff. Imagine when you get a job. I was like 12. Like, I was nowhere near getting
I
a
think
job.
my mom mentioned something like that as well. Like, if people look at your profile, they'll like think it's like, and they're not wrong necessarily.
But
Like,
also
there's
our-
some truth to it. But,
Our parents didn't grow up having social
Yeah,
media.
that's true.
So they're like, everything you post is there forever and everyone can find everything. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, they can, but it takes quite a bit of digging. Like,
Yeah.
no one, like, easily can go and find a post that I made that I deleted in, like, 2013. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's out
not
there somewhere.
easily.
I'm sure
It
you
is a
can't
good
find
thing to
it.
say to kids, though.
It is,
because,
I
like,
agree. I think it is a
looking
good
back
thing.
at what I used to post, like, I wish I had that talk.
For me, it was
Please.
mostly just cringe. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
post anything, like, bad. Like, one time I changed my profile picture because I had just gotten a haircut,
Yeah.
and I thought I could look like a model, so I did, like, a face and, like...
That's honestly kind of cute.
No, but it was
What's wrong
really
with
bad
that?
because I was, like, 14. It wasn't
I did
cute.
the
It was
same.
just weird. It was
Okay,
like, and I
but-
had this, like, gelled hair and, like, this, like, dark filter, and I was like...
I suppose there's a difference between us at 14 and you at 14.
And my brother was, like, laughing at me, and my mom was like, Peter, you have to change your picture.
I
You
had the
cannot
same.
have this picture.
I was the same when I was 14. I was really into the filters and I was so cringy. But I think that was like, because we're only a few years older than you, but I feel like we really were online in the time where we posted
Well, things are
all
moving
sorts
so
of
fast,
cringy
right?
stuff. But then you have kids on TikTok nowadays who are like 17, 18, and they're posting themselves grinding on the floor and
Yeah, that's
doing
fair.
all sorts of sexual
These
stuff and
whippersnappers.
swearing and like I sound like such a boomer.
I was about to say.
But it's like, because I wouldn't post videos now of me like grinding or like any of the stuff that they're posting because
It's
I'm
a
thinking,
different fucking culture, man. It's a different
Yeah.
like
exactly.
environment.
But I'm
It's so
thinking
different.
about like employers that can find that very easily, and I'm afraid I'm gonna like forget about an account and then I just have like a random video of me doing something really weird and then it's out there forever.
Yeah, but it's just
but,
like
you know, we are lucky in a way because this is not America. It's not like if you post like one cringy thing, it'll haunt you for the rest of your life. Like in Europe, people often don't really care that much. Like
That's true.
it's
but I mean,
different.
like even in America, though, I wonder how negatively you'd be affected if there's just like a cringy video of you. I don't think that badly, right? Unless
So-
you're like in like a managerial role, maybe.
Do you know the meme that's like kombucha girl? How she's like trying a bunch of kombucha and then she's like, well, no,
Mm-mm.
well, you know, it's like
No,
a whole.
I don't know.
I
You
don't
probably
think so.
do, like
Maybe.
you'll know it if you see it.
Probably, yeah,
But
that's true.
so she was featured in a video on BuzzFeed where she was telling about how she became a meme, and she posted that video just so her friends would see it,
Mhm.
like her trying a bunch of different kombucha and like for fun.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And she was working in a bank at the time. And
Oh.
so it started blowing up on gay Twitter, which was like when you try anal for the first time. And then it's like, well,
Was that a thing?
I'm like,
Oh.
gay Twitter is such a thing. It's my favorite thing in the world. I love it.
Is it like
Oh.
is it like separate from Twitter or is it?
No, I think it's
Because
just
it's like different cultures.
Oh.
Like there's like straight Twitter, which
my
is
God.
like people posting about getting rich and staying rich. And then
Oh.
there's like gay like Twitter, which is actually like funny. But so she was working in a bank, and so she was like, okay, this is blowing up, and different captions are being put in with this video.
Yeah.
And so she
Oh.
went to her manager and said, hey, this video is blowing up. I want you to know that I have no control over this.
Mhm.
Blah, blah, blah. And then so her manager like sat her down 2 weeks later and was like, listen, you have to choose. Do you want to be a meme? Or do you want to work in a bank? And she was like, I
Yeah.
don't have a choice. The internet will
Oh.
spread what the internet wants to spread.
Yeah.
like she can't delete it now, right?
Exactly,
Like now
so
it's
it's been
too
shared
late.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's too late. It's
Yeah.
everywhere. Like what are you gonna do? I mean, you can't just stop it. Like
That's the thing. I was thinking about going viral today. And
you were thinking of doing it?
no, I'm thinking
I'm gonna
about...
go viral. Today I'm gonna go viral.
As if it's a choice.
Yeah,
But,
it's like it's a choice.
like going
I feel
viral
like
as a
going viral.
concept.
Yeah.
Mm.
How it's like when YouTube videos went viral in like 2010, everyone saw it. And now videos that will have like 20 million views, not everyone has seen it. Like Kombucha
Yeah.
Girl has 20 million views and you guys aren't familiar with it straight away. And yet that video in 2010, if it had 20 million views,
I mean,
everyone would
has
have
seen
known about
it. Yeah,
it.
because like I feel like our kind of people, I don't know really how to describe it, like people our age-ish would have all been watching similar things, but now there's just so much variety, and it's like, and also we're slowly falling out of that like age limit of like being exposed to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and also just like the internet and like internet culture has become so diversified. You have so many like different small like niches now. It's like, yeah, one thing like you said, like one thing that's super popular in one niche might not be as popular in another. Like certain gaming clips, for example, that could have like 50 million views, whatever. You would have no idea what the fuck that is. You've probably never seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
But then if there was some kind of other famous thing, you
I just got reminded of like this terrible thing that actually happened in like the village I used to live in. You know,
Project X, right?
Project X. It's
that's crazy, dude. That's
a
insane.
story for those who don't know about it.
So I used to live in this village. It's called Harran, and I used to live there. And there was like this thing where this girl was having her 16th birthday party, and she was just like inviting people on Facebook, and she was like, "Yeah, guys, I'm throwing a party on this and this date. Like everyone is welcome, bring your friends, whatever." She didn't have too many friends on Facebook. She wasn't expecting much, just like a few people. Here's my address.
When was this again? When did this happen?
2016.
2016. No, I think it must have been earlier.
I think it was earlier.
I think it was 2012.
Quite young.
14?
Right?
I'm not sure. Well,
I don't know.
I'm sure.
It was
we'll
a
look
while
it up.
ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
I mean, it wasn't the year before I arrived in this country.
No, definitely not.
It was
100%
I think
not.
it was earlier than that.
But so what happened was that she hadn't set it to private or to just friends. So it was basically public. But obviously, like, no one would expect, especially not like a 16-year-old girl with like 300 friends, if even.
You wouldn't expect that.
No one would expect the entire fucking country to see this as an invitation to all come to her house. And so what happened? 2012. So what happened was that like there were just like thousands like of people like you know, saying like, "Hey, I'm gonna show up." And so what happened was that people in the village were really scared. They were like, you know, we don't even have like 1,000 something people. Like, how are we gonna welcome thousands of people? And this is like what, like 50,000 people.
I mean,
online
like it was
saying,
more like the population of the actual town.
It was way more than the population of the actual village.
It's just so funny to me
And-
to picture like.
Oh
old
my god! But
people.
you know what happened? So obviously we were all very curious because this is a pretty white and rich village.
Yeah, because
like
she was living there during when it happened.
Nothing ever happened. So we were like, let's check it out. So what the police had done was that they had set off her entire street. So no one could enter her street, but that was it. And there were reporters everywhere. They even came to my school at the time because my school was like right around the corner. And they were like asking me like, "Yeah, so do you think anything's going to happen?" Everyone was like, "No, nothing's going to happen." And then at some point it was like, 6 p.m. And, there weren't too many people. It was just mostly people from the village. And then, reporters were saying like, "Yeah, nothing's going to happen." They were airing it on the news.
Let's call it a night, guys.
They were airing it on the national news, and they were like, "Nothing's going to happen, guys. This was just like a story. Nothing happened." And then what happened was a little after that, all of a sudden, all of these cars and trucks came racing down the highway from the whole fucking country, and they destroyed the village. Like the village was like set on fire. The grocery stores were bashed in. People's houses were broken in. Like some people had like skull fractures and like they were hit in the head. And there was
some
rumor.
America shit.
And yeah, like the thing is like I was there when it went to shit. And I was there with my sister and a friend, and she was like, "Nicole, we've got to go." Like it was really bad. Like there was like special police, like it was called MA, and like there was like all these people, and it was just so crazy. And they had like tear gas, and there was fire everywhere. It was really difficult to actually leave at that point. It was so scary, and there were all these people. And at some point, like people were talking over Twitter and over social media at the time. And so at some point, there was this rumor that a girl had died in the crowd.
Really?
And everyone was like, "Oh my god, like people are dying." And then the next day, all of these volunteers came to, fix up the town, and it was just, the damage was just like...
Did anyone actually die though, or no? I don't think so.
No one died, but people were really scared.
Yeah.
And injured.
Like, yeah, like a lot of people were injured. And you have to understand, like, everyone was like, "What the fuck has what the fuck has just occurred?
Also, this is on Wikipedia. Like, it
Yeah.
was a big enough event that you can, like, Google it.
You
and
can
look
Google
into
this.
it.
You'll see all kinds of, pictures of, like,
Project
a
X.
village, like, set on fire. Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? I was about to say, like, do you guys think this would happen now? But it has. Fucking Area 51 raid. Remember that?
There's a movie
Like-
about this, which is why it was called Project X.
Oh, so that's why
yeah,
it's called Project.
after a movie.
Oh, I thought that
No,
that,
it's
that,
in
that it had
POG.
kind of, because like my understanding was that the group had changed and then eventually became Project X, or
No.
not. Oh, okay.
No, it's just called after a movie.
Yeah.
But this 16-year-old girl, there was even a fear the year after. Like, okay, she's turning 17. This is gonna happen again. Like, and this was just
Round
huge
2,
on-
guys.
Yeah, this
Project
was huge
Z.
on social media,
Or Project Y. Oh fuck.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I love about social media is the fact that you can connect with anyone and
The thing
everyone.
is that anything can fucking happen. Like this kind of crazy shit can
Yeah.
happen. Area 51 raid can
Yeah.
happen.
I mean,
It's
this
so
is caused by
unpredictable.
social media.
Yeah, man, entirely,
You know?
completely. It's like a
Yeah.
phenomenon, right? It's
There's
just
so much power
Yeah.
goes into
and
it.
also so much like not power because you have so many people
yeah.
who post on social media and like no one sees it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so weird, like how
Yeah.
the power structure of social media is
It's
organized.
interesting, yeah.
So in 2013, me and my best friend at the time, we made a YouTube channel and we were like making YouTube videos. And
I
we
think you showed me
posted-
this before, like how to do like a backflip or whatever on a trampoline
No, that was
or
me
something.
and my sister,
Oh, that was your
and
sister.
that was in 2009.
That was
and
great.
don't you fucking dare bring
Oh, it was
I've
so
seen
good.
it.
It was so beautiful.
But so this was in 2013 that I made this channel with my friend, and we were just like doing like, at that time on YouTube it was challenges like a best friend like challenge and stuff,
Yeah.
and like it was stupid. But then on YouTube there weren't so many creators, so if you put up a video you were gonna get like 200
Yeah.
views very easily.
Mm.
But now it's like you can put up a video and get no views.
You get like
Yeah.
one or
Exactly.
two maybe.
Like
Yeah.
there's just this abundance of content and you cannot get through it no matter what.
What was your most successful video?
I think it had like 2,000 views or
Pretty
something.
good.
I can't remember what it was though.
Peter has a very successful comment that he's very proud of.
Yeah, I've got a successful comment and it has like 1,000 likes on a lowered video. yeah. It was from like 2016. I was very proud of it.
Yeah.
I also had a YouTube channel. It was like a gaming channel,
Mm.
and none of my stuff got any views because I was like 12. But then for some reason,
Also, gaming wasn't that big.
yeah,
then.
it wasn't that big of a thing. But then like this one video actually did pretty good. It also got like 1,000 views or something.
Mhm.
But then like it had like majority dislikes because it was terrible.
Aw.
And I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna stop.
I mean, people
Yeah.
did take the effort to dislike it.
Yeah, that's nice. Actually, no, I don't think it had majority dislikes. It was like 40% dislikes, 50% likes.
That ratio,
60% likes. It was like kind of green, but it was a good
Yeah.
amount of red.
I don't think I've ever disliked a video.
Oh, I've disliked so
I
many.
have, yeah.
Like I just see some bullshit on the internet. Like sometimes I watch these like videos that are supposed to be like unbiased, like news things.
I have.
And then they like paint it as like being like unbiased, and it's like the most like biased bullshit ever. And I just like, oh, fuck off! Stop trying to say
Yeah.
that you're impartial. You're an asshole. Stop it.
Yeah.
Like if you're not going to be impartial, that's fine, but then be clear about it. Like don't
Yeah.
pretend like it's a fact. It's not a fact.
Yeah.
Annoys me.
Do you guys ever wish that you like didn't have social media?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I would love to. Like some days I'm just like I just want to delete it all and
Yeah.
then just like, but I can't because I have family all over the world, so I
Yeah.
can't. It's
I
like
never
the
get
only
that
way
feeling.
of talking to me.
I never get
But
that feeling.
I feel like when social media was first becoming popular,
Yeah.
it was an escape from the real,
Mhm.
the real world,
The wheel roll.
the real world.
Oh, wow.
And now it's like people take social media detoxes to like escape
Yeah.
the online world.
I just see
I
social
usually-
media.
yeah.
No, you continue.
I usually do it at the beginning of every year, like in January. I take like a month
Yeah,
off
I've
Instagram
seen you do it.
because I'm
Hmm.
just like, oh,
Oh,
like
really?
especially
Cool.
because Christmas and New Year's, it's a very hectic time for me because I have a very big family, so I always see a ton of people and I'm just talking to people, and then all over Instagram and Facebook is just posts like of everything that everyone's doing and being tagged and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, I just need to put it away for a while and then just start my year fresh. But it was kind of a shit show this year because it was really hard, because then this January 2020 was like super busy news-wise, because it had like all the World War III stuff happening, all the fires in Australia.
God. Oh yeah. Oh wow, that happened. Yeah. Fuck.
It's like, it was such
our
a
attention
busy...
spans are so pathetic as human beings because of social media as well.
Yeah.
Because you always have to move on to the next thing. Like, what trend has survived for more than like 2 months?
Yeah.
I can't even think of one. It's so crazy. Like, COVID doesn't count. COVID's still going on. It's not It's not even a trend anymore. It's just happening.
Like every month there's like a cultural reset.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Do you guys ever think about the fact that like right now you're thinking like, oh my god, this came out like that many months ago, and this happened, that happened. Do you ever think about like, you know, like in half a year from now, there's going to be all these articles of something crazy that happened, or someone who died, or something crazy that you don't know about right now.
You know what I think about? I think about how if I have kids in the future, how they'll probably learn about COVID. And,
Isn't that the weirdest shit
and
ever?
they're gonna be like, was everyone
the world's
actually wearing
worst
masks?
pandemic or whatever? Okay, not the worst, but you know, like the
One of the
like the worst modern pandemic.
Especially like in fucking.
It wouldn't even be modern anymore. At that stage, it would be like 70 years later, whatever. We're all like fucking old ass like dinosaurs, like in our retirement homes or whatever. And our parents are like, "Oh, we're learning about COVID. Could you tell us a bit about it?" We're like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna talk about it." We started a podcast actually.
It's a good. Like everyone says this was a horrible year, and for the world it was. But personally, I had a pretty good year.
I had a fucked up year. Fucked up.
Yeah, your year sucked. Everything got cancelled for you.
Everything got cancelled, and just like my whole study got delayed by like how much? Like half a year.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's
Just
also gonna be
everything
like
went
the
to
first
shit.
year, like in a long time, that I'm not gonna be able to see my family for Christmas.
Me
Most
too.
likely. It's such a weird thought because I don't think anybody at the start of a year would have
But
thought that.
luckily, we have social media.
But we have social media, so now you can kind of.
Yeah.
Like it can kind of maybe make it better. I don't know. Like I don't know how that's gonna work out.
Yeah.
We were thinking of doing like a Skype call Christmas or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's so weird.
What I love about social media though as well, like since we study abroad from where our parents live, so it's nice that my parents can still like keep up with what I'm doing without me telling them.
Yeah.
Because I post stories all the time on my Instagram, Jen Hobson. And it's like, it's for my family, like, so I don't have to talk to them all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's
that's
exhausting.
nice.
That is fair enough.
It started real nice.
Yeah, it started sweet.
But it's funny, when I first moved here, I used to ring my parents every day.
Really?
And then now it's like, it's been like over a month since I last spoke to my parents. And I'm like, it doesn't really matter. They can see what I'm doing anyway.
Well, like I was also gonna say, the thing with social media is that it just provides so many opportunities. Like stuff like for us to do stuff like this, like host a podcast, even though we're like in the middle of a pandemic or whatever. You know, it's like it still gives you the opportunity to do these things and put yourself out there. You know, and kind of pursue things that you like doing, which you might not have been able to do otherwise.
It's a great opportunity as well to learn about social movements. Like there's so much that I've learned about Black Lives Matter, like different abortion laws, like what's happening in Poland right now with their abortion laws.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It's like I never would have known, because I know one person from Poland, but it's
I
like...
really
yeah. I mean, we know a fella from Poland, that's for sure. Shout out to Fred. If he's watching this, he probably is.
And I don't even think he keeps updated with
No,
it.
I highly doubt it. No.
I really agree with this, because like I like to think that I'm like quite educated and that I'm always trying to learn, and that I know a lot about like feminism and BLM and that type of stuff. But I sincerely, like, I always like look into this stuff, and every time that I look online or at some kind of like account or something, I learn something new every time.
Yeah.
Like every time about like Black Lives Matter, I learn something new when I dig into something. And I'm like, wow, like I can't learn anymore. I know so much about it, and every time I do, it's such like an open book knowledge wise.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like free knowledge.
Yeah, well, because like you can see what's really happening. You're not being told anymore by like the news or whatever. You can see it for yourself and hear from actual people who are going from things. But at the same side, you also have a lot of people who use it to misinform people.
Yeah.
It's that whole debate, right, about like fake news or whatever. It's a buzzword, but you know.
I mean, do you guys remember Coney 2012?
Yeah, like that whole thing. It was all bullshit. Like the whole thing, and how much money was donated to that whole fundraiser. Like, do you know what Coney 2012 was? Or no, you were too young for that. You would have been 11 years old, man.
Yeah.
Wait, just explain it.
So Coney 2012 was this, basically it was this like huge thing that was happening about like African warlords and stuff using child soldiers. And there was like this company trying to raise, or like not company or whatever, it's like this thing about trying to raise money to like help. It was like a charity kind of thing to try to help it.
I think I was still playing Nintendogs.
Yeah,
at the
most
time.
likely. But like it turned out to be that like it was like there were like child soldiers and stuff in Africa, but the Coney like persona wasn't real or something like that. Like the whole thing was not as they were making it out to be, and no one really knows whatever happened to the money. So exactly. Coney 2012 was a good one.
And that was like one of the first online social media movements that really took place with a hashtag.
Hashtag Coney. Yeah, that's basically what started it.
It was pivotal, really, social media wise.
It really was.
And now it's like you fact check everything, and there are now websites that you can look up which do fact check those.
And I think that a lot of people are really aware of it, and a lot of people do fact check, but there's also a lot of people who don't. Like they just read something and take it at face value, you know?
Like the whole anti-vaccination group.
And like the 5G network, like towers, and like how that's spreading corona. Yeah. And flat earth, like that's also being spread a lot on social media. People just like read this shit and they're like, oh, I saw it on insert newspaper, it must be true, or like news website, you know, and it's a big problem. So
do you feel like social media does more like good than bad?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think a lot of people are saying that, you know, it's making people less social, but I disagree. I think it's making people social in a different way. I wouldn't say that it's less social, maybe traditionally, but it's different. Like, no matter what we do at this stage, the world's going to become more technologically involved.
I do feel like the good weighs out the bad. I think there's a lot of bad. Like, don't get me wrong.
Oh, there's a lot of bad. There's a lot of bad, for sure.
I really think that the good weighs out the bad. Like I can, like, my family lives in fucking, like just about not rural China, or... kind of almost and like my dad can like talk to my grandma through like WeChat, like that's like that type of shit. That's like amazing. Like what the hell?
But also it's done some really awful things for self-esteem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
absolutely.
Even just on a mental health level, social media is awful. I know it's had a horrible impact on my mental health, comparing myself to different women on social media and feeling the need to put filters on myself, editing my photos, which I used to do, I don't do anymore, but the fact that I was ever in a space where I felt like I needed to. Yeah. And it's awful.
But then people would also argue that...
And cyberbullying.
Yeah, cyberbullying is also a big problem. But people would also argue then that, but that would not have happened anyways, but just in person without social media.
No, but it's different because it follows you home.
That's true.
It doesn't stay at school.
That's true as well.
Know? Because I had that for a while. I thought it was bullying. It wasn't. It was only like... It was about one fact, and that was that I was Chinese. That was all. But like... I would like not even mind it as much at school, but whenever they would send me like all of these like racial slurs like through like different phone numbers and that type of stuff, I would really like that would hurt me so much more. Yeah. You know, but I really do like, because like on one hand, I would, for instance, like compare myself to the white women online, and I was like, why does their makeup, like, why doesn't it look good on me? I was like. I don't know why. Yeah. And it was because I should have looked at like makeup for Asian women. Yeah. Right? But like I do like nowadays that, for instance, on Instagram, you can exactly filter what you would like to see. And then in algorithms, you through it. So I always see like the stuff that I like dogs, like makeup, like hair dyeing, feminist shit. Like now that really does lift me up. So like it does bad, but it also does look good.
Yeah,
but
true.
All of these filters are really new. Like they're only the last like
people don't know kind of what the effects of these algorithms are gonna be on people, because then you only see what you want to see. So if you're like a super right-wing person, you're only gonna see right-wing news.
Have you seen The
It's
Social Dilemma?
and like vice versa too. Sorry.
Have you seen The Social
No, I
Dilemma?
haven't watched it.
It's on Netflix.
I've been meaning to.
Yeah, it is really.
We should have watched that for research for this podcast.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You know what?
I did.
Yeah, she get prepared.
You know what though? I did start watching it because my sister-in-law posted about it. 'Cause she took a break from Instagram and then came back and said, I hope everyone can watch The Social Dilemma and like take a step back and look at their own social media usage.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll have a look. And to be honest, Peter and I learned a lot about this in our degree.
That is very true.
We're almost numb to the information they give out, like where our data goes about the
That
algorithm.
is very true. We
big
did.
Data,
If I could say one thing about media studies, we learned a lot about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
About like algorithms and the potential repercussions
You can never
of
stop
it.
learning.
True. You can. That is also very true. But it also reminds me of like the what's the Don't Fuck with Cats documentary thing.
Oh,
I don't know if you watched that,
horrible.
and you
I
have.
did.
We watched it together, obviously, so we have. But it's like yeah, it's like basically they were trying to track down this guy on social media on Facebook who was posting about like torturing cats for attention, basically.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's like, it kind of shows both parts of it. It shows people on social media banding together to try to stop this person, but also how easy it is for this person to like send that shit out into the
And
world.
remain
you know?
anonymous.
And remain
the
anonymous
question-
and get what he wants, which is
But
attention.
in that documentary, because he actually ended up killing a guy in Canada.
Yeah.
And the thing is that people were saying was like, did these people who like tried to catch him over the cat
don't
thing,
think
did they
so.
contribute?
I don't
Even
think
if they
so.
had like good intentions, the question was like, did they contribute? Did they push him into that?
I don't think they pushed him into killing that guy. I think if he's that fucking crazy, he would have done anything.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's their fault. What I would say is kind of sketchy though, is that they targeted the wrong person. Remember, because they had this, because they thought that they were these super detectives and that they were going to track down this guy. But at one point, they found this guy who they thought was the perpetrator. It wasn't him.
Because
And
he
they
did-
basically cyberbullied him.
Okay, but fair enough. He did confess. He did say, "It's me, y'all," and he did have mental issues, and they
Yeah,
couldn't
but-
have really. They genuinely thought, "Oh, he says it's him. It's
Yeah,
him."
but they fought. Like
They fought, yes, but-
like they fought it was him, but they didn't know. Like it's.
But
they're
this
not-
is
we're
hindsight.
not
We
the-
could be doing something right now that contributes to someone's death. Like,
Maybe, but this was really active. But anyways, this guy
We're
ended up
killing
killing
someone.
him.
I just thought about like, what if like 20 years from now one of us commits murder, and we're like, oh my god,
It was all for the podcast.
Yeah.
Gotta get them views, baby.
Got away with it. Going viral, baby.
Yeah.
So that's what you meant by going viral today. One of us is not leaving this room.
What do you guys think about cancel culture?
Oh man, I think that's.
I find it quite toxic, but also necessary at times.
It depends on
I
a
think
case
it's
by case.
overused a lot.
I think
though.
it's on a case by case
Yeah.
situation. Do you know what cancel culture is?
Is it like where you cancel for the sake of it? What?
No, it's like basically what you do is you pick up on like something that someone said. Like in some cases, sometimes it'll be news, sometimes it'll be before. But like for example, something that someone said back in like 2010.
And then you haunt them for today.
And then you like bring it up today and like, oh, we should cancel this
Well,
person, like get them off the internet.
I have very
because of
mixed
that.
feelings about
Yeah,
this.
it's me too.
Because on one hand, I'm like, yeah, like they said this shit and they should be held responsible and they should like not be able to do this stuff. We are like going into the right direction by saying like it is not okay. However, if it is from many years ago, I am not saying like, okay, it's been
not okay.
I'm not
but-
saying like it's okay, it's been many years and therefore like it's not that bad anymore. I'm saying it's still as bad, but I am saying like that many years ago, that was kind of the culture. A lot of people
Yeah.
would say that. So it's more about like who happened to have put it online
Yeah.
and is getting haunted for it today because everyone said it at the time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind
Because-
of like it was a
yeah.
different time.
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I think in 2011, like, or maybe I was 11 myself, I'm pretty sure I might have said, like, faggot on Facebook.
Yeah.
But, and I wouldn't use that word now. I'm literally only saying it for context. I never use that word now. I think it's a
Yeah.
disgusting word and it should never be used. But and it's like I was so young, but imagine like if this podcast takes off, we become quite popular, and then someone digs that up from years ago and is like, you should be held accountable.
I do think it
I
matters
mean-
how people respond to it now. If someone is completely like unapologetic,
Yeah,
or someone is
of
like,
course.
you know, like, I don't stand behind this, I'm so sorry about it, that makes a difference
But-
for me.
but-
Absolutely.
Yeah, to us maybe, but to the people canceling, like the whole cancel culture, it doesn't matter if you're apologetic. That's the thing. That's the problem. That's why it's a culture.
But
It's
I
just
do think like on one hand, I'm like, but that was kind of how everyone was like. Probably the people canceling did it themselves, but just haven't been caught.
It's like when there was a trend where people would be like, oh, that's so gay.
Yeah.
Like, everyone said it and no one thought about the repercussions of it until years later. And now we've corrected our behavior.
I think that was also a really big, like, guy thing. To, like, say, like, oh, that's so gay.
For
when
sure.
you do what are you, like, gay or something.
But that is
like,
very
it's
recent,
such, like,
actually.
a gay
That's
That
not
goes
even
with
that long
toxic
ago.
masculinity.
Yeah, well.
But like on one hand I'm like, but on the other I'm also like, you know, it is still really bad, and it is good to show like this is not okay. We do cancel for this type of stuff, so don't do it. Because like I was like, you guys might not have been on the receiving end, but like I was on the receiving end. You know, like
absolutely.
it is like it hurts you a lot more than you think it does.
That's true.
You know, so it does make a lot more
like,
impact
like
than you would
also
think.
like what you're saying is definitely very true, but it's also like sometimes it wasn't about like a racial or like a sexual stereotype kind of thing. It was just attacking someone or saying stupid shit. But the thing is that like I have to question myself, like, who was I 10 years ago? I'm such a different person now to then. How can I? It's so, to me, it's such an abstract concept to hold someone accountable,
and that's
accountable for something that was said so long ago when they're a completely different person.
Well,
literally a completely different person.
But that is something about like that is like relevant to like back in the day. But have you noticed how like social media today is very unfiltered? So even something that people would never say to someone in real life or would never really say in that type of way, that they say it online. Even if you were to like, you know, ring their door and ask like, why'd you say this? They're like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it's very unfiltered. People say like all kinds of really bad stuff that is kind of like exaggerated almost.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. People love to hide behind a screen.
Yeah,
exactly. That's also a big thing with social media. But also hiding behind a screen gives a lot of liberty to people so that they can be who they want to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's
absolutely
everything has like another side to it. Like all of you, and I guess that's the big takeaway from this whole conversation.
I would you guys, if social media wasn't a thing today, would you guys have started like something like this on a big like platform where you have to go in front of people? Like,
but I mean, how would we have even started it? Like, we would have to get like a radio show.
Yeah,
but
it's
like,
easy to like be creative through social media.
It really promotes creativity and stuff.
Also,
like
I think because I feel like, so when I did do that YouTube channel with my best friend when I was like 13, I got bullied for it.
Yeah.
And like really bad by my friends. They're like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
But that's also like teen culture, which is disgusting. And now it's like I've had nothing but love for this, you know.
But that's just
like,
that is in your face though. Like people
everyone's really nice.
People do really like to put like hate onto someone's creativity until it becomes successful. Then they're like, oh, I supported her.
Absolutely.
You know?
It's the same with social media influencers. Someone's trying to make their name for themselves, so they're doing like these brand deals and they might be quite small, so it seems like they're kidding themselves and trying to be popular. And as soon as they make it, they're like, oh, I always knew you'd make it. And it's like, come on.
That's the thing I've been thinking about. Like, if for whatever reason I somehow end up being like famous, which is such a strange word, someday for whatever reason, like, will there be like leeches who appear who I haven't spoken to in like 15 years or whatever? Maybe, right? I at the same time, I'm like, would they really? Like, I don't know. Exactly.
Would I call them out?
Like how would you react if someone who was not nice to you or wasn't really your friend like showed up after you had become very successful and famous and asked you for like tickets to like insert whatever it was?
It's already different if they directly ask you something right away.
like fucking slimies, you know, like when they try.
Yeah, I mean, I see it a lot, you know, how people like, for instance, like with my dad, not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but I'll say it anyways.
It's a
With my
hot take
dad,
here.
like he doesn't have any friends. He's this very like typical Chinese man. He doesn't have any friends. He's very like, in the Western world, you would consider it autistic. They consider it autistic rather. But he doesn't have any friends. But like sometimes here and there, he has these people who like online like searched him, and they're like, wow, he has like a successful business. We're gonna ask for money. And for some reason, maybe it is a secret desire to have some friends of some kind. My dad does like, or has in the past, given them money.
What?
You know?
But okay,
it happens.
Are
It's
they
easy to
people
search.
from are they people from like his like circle in any way, like his
No,
community?
not really.
Just random people.
No, it's
I've
easy
never
to.
even heard of this happening.
I hear it a lot. I actually know a lot of people who this has happened to as well. It's so easy to search for someone's success or to Google them and see like, wow, they're successful all of a sudden, you know?
Gosh, yeah.
It is easy. It is dangerous. It puts people out there. But then again, you know, it also puts you out there for potential jobs, potential all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I think, well, because when you're going into the workforce, everyone's like, connections, it's all about who you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So you want to keep those, and it may come across as fake sometimes, depending on how you do it. But I mean,
to some extent it is.
LinkedIn, I like it because I like keeping those links, and if a potential employer comes and looks at my profile, they'll see that I'm connected with like my dad, who's very high up in his industry, and my sister is very high up in her industry, so they, you know, they can see that. And actually my dad said, I was speaking to him a few weeks ago, and he was approached by, I think, a podcast who saw, because he promoted our podcast on his LinkedIn, so they saw that I was his daughter, and I guess thought, well, she's got to get that from somewhere, so they invited him on their podcast. And it's those connections.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why didn't they invite us? Hello?
I'm also
Hello? We're the hosts. Hello, invite us.
I mean, it could be as much as one great connection that does it for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very
Yeah.
true.
I mean, yeah, like I speak to so many people, and I'm like, how'd you get your job? And they're like, LinkedIn. Old people I knew, like one connection did it.
I think my takeaway from this is that I really need to update my LinkedIn, because I have this
I
super.
offered.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Nico got angry at me the other day because she offered to like spruce up my LinkedIn because I haven't touched it since 2015. So it has this like unprofessional picture of me smiling, like, and like I don't look at all like I look now, and it has like, it doesn't even have that I have a bachelor or anything like that. It's just like.
Yeah.
It's like all this old information, so I really need to update it, actually.
It's an online resume.
Yeah, it really is. And like it's so representative of who you are if you maintain it, obviously.
I've been reached out on LinkedIn for a job, and also to do a master's program somewhere in England.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just...
Actually, wow, okay,
Yeah.
I really need to update
You need
that
to
shit.
do it, man.
Yeah, fuck, turns out.
I've never really had like an approach like that, but I mean, I'm hoping for one.
Yours is quite new, though,
Yeah,
isn't
yours
Yeah.
is so professional.
But I just created it like what, like 2 months ago?
it? Yeah,
So-
you have time.
Yeah.
I've had mine since I first started uni, so 2017. It's now 2020, so...
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
only 2
I've
approaches.
had mine
but
for
still.
quite a while, but yeah, as I said, I haven't touched it.
Yeah.
Gotta update that shit, man.
You know what's dangerous though with social media? It's also like sometimes you forget about those people who are a little less fortunate in ways because they don't know how to work with it, or they don't know how to they're illiterate or something like that, or they're a bit older. And those people, like, because of like the rise of like social media and more like government stuff also becoming like way more like modernized and you know like becoming more like technological, a lot of people can't do their basic things anymore. Like some governments don't even do things on paper or in person anymore.
Yeah.
That is
That's
something
true.
that you tend to forget.
My nana refuses to do online banking. She's
Yeah.
afraid like everyone's gonna
No.
take her details, so she still goes into the bank and like deposits
Yeah,
money.
I was gonna do an interview the other day with someone from my master's, and they were like, "Yeah, I don't really trust Messenger because I don't think it's safe to like send
It's
messages and
end-to-end
like call."
encrypted.
Yeah, but
I mean, like, but that's the thing as well. Like, people are like so scared about where their data's going.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't mind because I like the content that shows up on my feed to be personalized, and also like, what are you gonna do?
And
like,
I love the fucking FBI memes. Like
Yeah.
like when you send a risky text but it doesn't send, and then like the FBI agent messages you like, I got you, fam. That's so good.
I'll let you
I love it.
hon.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
man.
strange. Like, the other day, I was having a class about, like, the most random topic. Like, something I hadn't even heard of. It was the most random thing. All of a sudden, I get an email, like a scam email, like, you know what they look like.
Yeah.
For, like, asking for money for exactly that. And it was, I promise you, the weirdest thing. Like, no one would have come up with that. And I was like, how does that work? Like, I sincerely don't understand. Because even if, like, some kind of funky something heard it or something through my computer or saw that I was watching it, even then it is such a weird topic that I'm like, how?
I think everyone should take our media studies course because I learned so much.
At least like an online course or version of something, just to be
of
more
where your data's going. Jean, I saw a meme the other day of people who were like, I don't even know what cookies are, and I'm like, to be fair, I didn't until I was doing my course.
Yeah.
Like and everyone just like, yeah, accept all cookies, like, because cookies don't tell you anything. It sounds delicious. Yeah. So people are like, hell yeah, oh, where are my cookies?
At least like some kind of media literacy course, because it's such an important part of everyday life now for most people, especially people our age. Like, if you're doing it every day, you might as well have some kind of understanding of what's actually going on behind the scenes, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess it's just good to keep educating yourself anyways. You know, you'll learn a lot. Even if you think you already know so much, like, you'll learn.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Should we wrap it up?
I think so, indeed. Nicole, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah,
Hobson,
no worries.
thanks for joining us again, as you do every week.
It's always such a chore.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, I wish you weren't here, to be honest. I feel like me and Nicole could have had a great old
Oh,
girl
that's
chat.
not very nice. Oh.
Anyway, thank
That's
you.
not very nice, Hobson. Thank you for joining us on This Could Be a Podcast. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, you know, everywhere.
Everything will be in the description. So.
Everything will be in the description.
And you can also find Nicole's Instagram there as well.
Yes, we will definitely link Nicole if you want to check out her Instagram or whatever other social media you wanna promote. Feel free to tell me afterwards and I'll put it in there.
And if you have anything you want us to discuss, feel free to send us a DM on Instagram at This Could Be a Podcast. Yeah, bye.
And that's all. Thanks and bye. Till
Bye.
next week.